No, they're both gone for baseball. Just us four. Lynn said, well, at least that's what Lynn said in her text. Yeah. Hey, everybody rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Okay, good evening, everybody. Board Chair Brott is out for baseball, so you have me today. So call to order the first meeting here, or the Monday, July 28th meeting. And we still have a quorum. Brott and Hank Slavin are gone for baseball. And we will go ahead and get a motion to approve the agenda tonight.
Second.
Okay, any questions or comments on the agenda? Okay. Motion carries. All right. All in favor? Sorry. All in favor of approving the agenda tonight?
Aye.
Aye. All right. 5.0 is communication and reports. Finance update.
Evening, everybody. Just going to kind of go through this pretty quickly because we are at year end and it's subject to change with audit coming up. That starts August 11th for the district-wide audit, and then the single audit will follow the week after that for our federal funds. So just looking at our expenditures, if you jump down to the second grouping, overall, we are sitting at 262 over 1,000 over budget. We were potentially going to net at zero, but we purchased some tech supplies, so that threw us over budget this year. So we were pretty close. And then just also kind of jumping back to revenues, because I made my notes backwards. We have not booked our receivable for yet this year. That'll come at audit with the closing entries. Any questions on that page?
So you understand, like remember we came like with the tariff talk, we
Yep.
bought our computers
Yep.
and so for the most part, it looks fairly balanced, which is better than expected if everything holds true, which is
If
great.
everything holds true, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and there is still a few expenses
Yeah.
coming in, so it could subject to change. But on the second page, just going to make note that food service came out better than we anticipated, so I'm extremely happy about that. I believe most expenses have been booked for that grouping. And then the construction fund, we have 21,000 still sitting out there that we can use, and I'm going to be moving that into some expenses into that, mainly the water heater that we had to replace this year. So that's all I had to really note on this page. Any questions there? Okay, jumping over to the treasurer's report. I just have two notes here. The fund balance on the community ed has drastically changed this year. So I'm hoping that we will be working its way out of the deficit by the end of next year. So we're on the right trend for that. And then our cash position is up about 1.2 million over last year. And that's partially because of our revenues increase from last year with increase in student enrollment. And that's the only two I need to note there. And any questions overall?
How much is community service in debt then? So
It's well overall 2,000, but community ed itself is still 52,000 negative. So
And again, VPK helped
Mhm.
a pretty good
Mhm.
chunk there.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there hasn't been major change in, other than the VPK programming,
Okay, thank you. Okay, 5.2 is administration and department head reports.
Okay, just to update the whole group. We do have a tentative agreement with the bus drivers. And so, I actually just received this afternoon the, draft of language. And so we'll go through it, assuming everything it'll be on the up and up. It'll come to the board next time. They're in the process also of taking it to their group to get approval. We had our second meeting with the teachers group today and we're moving along. chose not to have a closed session. I don't think we're quite there yet, but we have another meeting scheduled. Is it the 5th?
Yep.
Yep, and then another one after that, so we'll keep you in the loop. I'm guessing on the 11th, we'll have a closed session that we can speak more on where exactly we're at. Just a heads up tonight on the board, and it's really the reason we had to have the meeting is we had to have our LTFM plan approved. And again, that stuff's all coming from the facility committee from last year. It's just now is the formal time to put it in place. We will, now that Mike is on board, get some facility meetings scheduled. We canceled the last one when Ron left or whatever, but it's set out. So for instance, now when we start talking this year, we're planning already for next, the following year down the road. I did give you a heads up, last time that working on a Solar for Schools grant, we're gonna put it in. You're given just a blanket. I just want to make sure everyone, there's 2 rounds to funding. One is to put in like what's called a readiness assessment. So I've been working with a solar provider. We're not locked into anything, to get kind of an array and a size, and they're working on the payback now. We'll put that in. If we're selected, then it comes to the board. We put an RFP out and you select a company and they actually help you write the round 2 grant and formally get approved. And then it still comes back to the board to, approve or not. The hope, and again, they're working on the payback right now, that I'll just be honest, that we can get a decent size array, have 150,000 into it of our money, and hopefully have a payback of 2-3 years, and then you're safe. That's how the majority of them have worked recently. Now, you can do a small 40 kW array. It doesn't put much back. That's just mainly educational, kind of what's like at South Point right now. It doesn't produce a lot. I'm just being honest, we're looking at a bigger array, putting it out in the field somewhere there by the middle school, out there, out of the way, and hopefully offsetting some costs long term, but we'll see how it comes in. So anyway, it'll get put in, and we'll see if we get chosen or not. Heads up on Nexus, things are moving. It kind of delayed a little bit. Rob has had conversations, I think, with most of the principals, even took some time. Jill was fortunate when she was leaving. She took some time even after she was done. Met with Diane. He's meeting with Laura, the new community ed. So he's having those conversations, but we have a lady here that's doing a visual, I forget the actual name, but doing 3D rendering, like video of all the schools, every nook and cranny in the school right now. They started today. So that's part of the process that we'll have as part of the portfolio when it's all said and done. So they are moving, and the next step is when staff, more than just administration, they'll do some groups with teachers, with paras, cooks, as well as students, to get some input, and so keep moving. I did this morning send out to the policy committee. I'm just throwing some things. I don't remember if I had 6 or 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there of policies coming up. There's a handful that I also sent, I think Thursday or Friday last week, that MSBA says we don't have to, but I wanted you aware that when Nancy updates, they're changing like a statute number. You don't technically have to bring them back to the board, or something like that. But when we change the date that they've been updated, I don't want someone coming back going, we never went through that. So we'll get this round done, and then hopefully, like I say, we can get them to the board for the first reading, and then I'll have the other 6 or 7 that are sitting there ready to go. And other than that, welcome back to the principals. I mentioned to Lindsay and other staff that started. I don't know when all the secretaries, I know one was in here, but I don't know if in other buildings, if some are back, but not requiring any update. We'll talk about the 5th, unless there's something any of you want to share. Lindsay will more than open, but I don't expect, if there's something you want to share now, you're more than welcome to, but otherwise welcome, and we'll meet here soon. Questions?
Nope. And then 5.3 is committee reports.
So other than, like I say, no, we'll get some facilities set up, negotiations is going on, the policy group, like I say, if the group wants to meet, look over, it's not the most exciting reading, let me know what you want to do, but.
Okay. All right, if there's no other reports, okay. 6.0, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'll move to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And any opposed? All right, motion passes. 7.0 is opportunities for citizens to speak, not on the agenda.
I don't have anything.
No?
Mm.
All right, 8.0 is district business. 8.1 is to award the milk, bread, and fuel bids. I'll take a motion to award the bids.
I'll make a motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Motion carries. 8.2 is the policy adoption, the second reading of the policy 709. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll
Oh.
second.
Okay,
And again, the only changes there are updates on like the badge system. I don't know what the routing or whatever.
Yeah, and consequences, the
Correct.
policy looks really good.
awesome. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 8.3 is approved the fiscal year 27 long-term facilities maintenance plan. I'll take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay. And there's some seconds.
I
Any
just have a few
questions?
questions.
Yep.
What are the physical hazards that we're taking care of?
Okay, so there's some blanket, and I just gotta find that, there's
Yep.
blanket amounts put in there for
Mhm.
different things from, you know, like the roof thing. There's 10,000 if I recall right, or whatever, I could pull it out. There's certain money that are sitting there just for like fixes or fire extinguisher
Mhm.
stuff that we have to do on an annual basis. So that same thing, physical hazards, if we end up needing to fix something, you know, whatever, like we had the bleachers that got
Mhm.
bent or whatever, you know, become a safety, well, we gotta fix. So other than the major project is the boiler for South Point. Right
Mhm.
now, New Heights is being done, CMS was done last year, so that is the majority. The rest is just kind of placeholders for,
Just so we have a budget more or less
Correct.
in place? Okay.
Correct. you know, I mean, if all of a sudden, take like the roof, like right now, the roof on the senior high center is leaking. We're gonna have to do something. We just think, whether it costs $5,000, at least there's something sitting.
Okay.
We're on 26 now, this is a year ahead, but
Mhm.
there's just some placeholders there. So
Okay.
there's nothing specific set out.
Okay. That's all I had questions on.
All right, and then, so do I still do? I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Is
Wait.
this a roll call vote?
We need, yeah,
So Nancy, would you do a roll call vote?
Yeah. Yes.
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 Okay. All right, 9.0 is the payment of claims and accounts.
I'll make the motion to approve the K-12 bills 129792, 129837 in the amount of $498,023.79.
Second.
All right. Any questions or comments? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. 10.0 are board member comments.
I don't have any tonight.
Amanda?
I just want to say welcome back principals, and I also want to say I'm glad that we updated the transportation policy for kids. I hope that it makes it easier for bus drivers and better for the kids too. So that's all I got.
Okay, Holly? Okay, I have no comments tonight either. Okay, so 11.0, the next meeting of the Board of Education will be August 11th, 2025 at 5:30 in this room. And I will take a motion to adjourn. I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed?